Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome, dear devotees. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 2, Chapter number 4. The title is The Process of Creation. Today's discussion, we are starting from text number 5. Pankaj Prabhu, yes, Sanskrit and translation of text 5.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavad Pranam. Text number 5. Rajo Vacha Samichinam Vacho Brahman Sarvagyasya Tava Maga Tamo Vishrayate Mahiyam Hare Kathayata Katham. Translation by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Maharaj Parikshit said, O learned Brahman, you know everything because you are without material contamination. Therefore, whatever you have spoken to me appears perfectly right. Your speeches are gradually destroying the darkness of my ignorance, for you are narrating the topic of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Oh, learned Brahmana, you know everything because you are without any material contamination. Who is speaking this line? Oh, learned Brahmana, you know everything because you are without any material contamination. कौन बोल रहा है ये?
Maharaj Parikshit.
Parikshit, as translation says, it says Maharaj Parikshit said. और किसको बोल रहे हैं? To whom he is speaking?
Sukdev
He
Goswami.
is speaking to Sukdev Goswami. So we saw yesterday, and continuing the same thing, the theme of these verses are going that after hearing from Sukdev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj was able to focus his mind completely absorbed in Krishna. We saw yesterday a couple of verses that Parikshit Maharaj was able to give up all deep-rooted affection for wife, children, even animals were mentioned, horses, elephants, the whole kingdom, house, palace. He was able to give up all the deep-rooted affection and was able to completely absorb. And the same thing is happening here. Here Parikshit Maharaj is said to Sukdev Goswami that because you are without any material contamination, everything you speak appears perfectly right. And what is happening, the effect of hearing, Parikshit Maharaj was hearing from Sukdev Goswami. What is the effect? Your speeches are gradually destroying the darkness of my ignorance. For you are narrating the topics of the Lord. So last line of the translation, it is mentioned. The speech is gradually destroying the darkness of ignorance. So here we see the effect of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the effect. Even in Canto 1, chapter number 2, we saw the 7th verse. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu Vairagyam Gnananchayat. Knowledge and detachment comes when someone is doing devotional service towards Lord Sri Krishna, when someone is serving Srimad Bhagavatam or reading Srimad Bhagavatam, knowledge and detachment comes. Srila Prabhupada highlights in the purport of this verse the qualities of a genuine, authorized, bona fide speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. The effect of Bhagavatam will only be there when the speaker is genuine. He picks that word. If you see the last line of the Sanskrit, what is mentioned here, anaga. Not last line, sorry, second line. Sarva Gnyatsya Tava Naga. Second line, Anaga. Anaga means without any material contamination. The speaker, Sukdev Goswami, was without any material contamination. No material desires. कोई फेमस बनने की आशा नहीं है, कोई ग्रेट स्पीकर बनने की आशा नहीं है, कोई ग्रेट ऑथर बनने की आशा नहीं है. It is, he was a pure devotee, and that's why he was speaking. And that's why the effect of Srimad Bhagavatam we see that how Parikshit Maharaj was able to fully concentrate on Lord Shri Krishna and give up all the attachments to the palace family members and everything. So picking that one word, anaga, without any material desire, Prabhupada highlights in the purport the qualities of a bona fide speaker, genuine speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada mentions Bhagavatam should not be heard from a professional reciter. The professional, those who have, they charge money, those who want to make money out of this, or those who have ulterior motives. Bhagavatam should not be heard from those people. Bhagavatam should be heard from people who live the life what they speak. We say in English, walk the talk. जो बोलते हैं वो करके दिखाते हैं. For example, many times in Bhagavatam it is mentioned about complete surrender to Lord Shri Krishna. But the speaker or the person explaining Bhagavatam, are they surrendered to Lord Shri Krishna completely? They must have done that, the action, and then the person is able to communicate properly the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, and then it will bring the transformation in the heart of the person who is listening. And that's why we study Srimad Bhagavatam from Srila Prabhupada, because it is said, there are two types of Bhagavatas, living Bhagavat and book Bhagavat. Book Bhagavat is the Bhagavatam we are studying. Living Bhagavat is like the pure devotees of the Lord, those who live life according to the principles of Srimad Bhagavatam. They have no material desires, personal motivation, kuch bhi nahi hai. And it is when these devotees, pure devotees, speak Srimad Bhagavatam, or here Prabhupada is writing the purports in Srimad Bhagavatam, they share their realizations. It's not just the information. Information is only for the ears, but the realization is what which transforms the heart. So when a person is speaking, sharing the realization, pure devotee is speaking, the sound vibration not only enters the ear, but it penetrates to the heart. And instead of just passing on the information, it's bringing the transformation here in heart. And what is here we see in Srila Prabhupada's, purport, it is mentioned Parikshit Maharaj's life. It happened thousands of years back. When Parikshit Maharaj heard Srimad Bhagavatam, he was able to give up everything, the family affection, palace, everything, and completely absorb in Krishna. But even in today's world also, that is, we see that happening when a person has so many disciples. Srila Prabhupada's early life in USA or all around the world, people hearing from Srila Prabhupada and dedicating the life fully, give up all the attachments, completely absorbed in Krishna. If you see temple calendar, today is Jayananda Prabhu's disappearance day. If you normally in temple calendars, if you see all the Vaishnava acharyas, appearance day, disappearance day, or Lord's Janmashtami, Radhastami, Narsimha Chaturdasi. But Jayanand Prabhu was Prabhupada's disciple. अभी 50 years पहले की बात है. He's Prabhupada disciple, and he is the only one who has made in this Vaishnava calendar. Jayanand Prabhu was early disciple of Srila Prabhupada, very young devotee. And he is the only one. Prabhupada, he had in the later stage of life, he had the cancer and he passed away. And Prabhupada said this day should be celebrated, as the Vaishnava Acharyas, because he has gone back to Godhead. So his services, when he met Srila Prabhupada, this is long time back, 50 years back. So those days, whatever savings he had, when he met Srila Prabhupada, whatever savings he had, at one go, he donated everything to Srila Prabhupada. At that time, he was working as a taxi driver. All the money, everything what he was earning, he was giving 100%. सब कुछ प्रभुपाद को देते थे. And on top of that, he was doing so many services. Especially, he was instrumental in Rath Yatra, building Rath carts, organizing big Rath Yatra in those days when it was new all around the world. So he was instrumental as getting all the devotees together, arranging big Rath Yatra festivals, and giving credit to everyone. Kuch bhi hota hai, something someone has helped, he will give all credit. Oh, because of this person, this Rath Yatra was successful. Because of this person, he helped to make the cart. He was glorifying everyone. Even Jai Pataka Maharaj's pastime is there. When he was Jayanand Prabhu, when he was making a Rath cart and he had to just hit the nail, fix something. So he told Jai Pataka Maharaj, in those times he was just a new boy, young devotee, just coming to the movement, not experienced much. But Jayanand Prabhu said him, either nail lagana, can you hold this? And he'll just hit the nail. And then later on, Jayanand Prabhu gave all credit to Jai Pataka Maharaj. Because of him, the Rath was built so nicely, perfectly, and the Rath Yatra was very successful. So it's very heart touching, if you see whole life of Jayanand Prabhu. And When he, after some years, he got cancer and he passed away. And Prabhupada said, his photo, wherever Rath Yatra happens all around the world, his photo should be kept. Jayanand Prabhu's, and we must write, Jayanand Prabhu has gone back to Godhead. Yes. So if you see in temple calendar today, it's a Jayanand Prabhu's disappearance. They very celebrate. But the point what we are trying to connect here is, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukdev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj was able to give up all affection, all attachment, and completely absorbed. In the same way, by having association of Srila Prabhupada, so many disciples, so many thousands and thousands of devotees were able to give up their attachments, material desires, and completely surrender to Lord Shri Krishna. How many of us, can do like this? Prabhupada or pure devotee को मिलके सब कुछ जो भी savings है, everything we donate. On top of that, all that what we are working, everything, for the service of Krishna. So how glorious, Prabhupada disciples are those who have dedicated, their lives for serving Srila Prabhupada. Many times people say कि मैं इससे भागवतम सुनता हूँ, मैं इससे भागवतम सुनती हूँ, मुझे ये बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं, मैं 10 साल से, मेरा तो पहले से सालों साल से every day I hear this personality. Yes, but are they genuine? Are they bona fide? Are they authorized? How do we find out? Is there any effect on it, on us or not? Many, even in Bhakti Vriksha or staying near to the temple, I meet many people. हम तो ये बाबा जी महाराज को सुनते हैं. Very nice, बहुत अच्छा. What about the transformation? इंफॉर्मेशन, यस, 10 साल से इंफॉर्मेशन ले लो, हम ये मार्ग में है, हम ये पंथ से है, हमारा तो ये कुल है, हमारा तो इससे हम करते हैं. यस, करेक्ट, एवरीथिंग एक्सेप्टेड. बट व्हाट अबाउट द ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन? एक चाय भी छोड़ा गया, एक कॉफी भी छोड़ा गया. व्हाट अबाउट ऑनियन गार्लिक? व्हाट अबाउट मीट ईटिंग, इंटॉक्सिकेशन? एंड दिस पीपल, उनका आर्ग्यू होता है कि अरे टी एंड कॉफी इज नॉट इंटॉक्सिकेशन. Okay, tea and coffee is not intoxication, then try to stop it. 2 महीना छोड़ के दिखा दो. अगर तुम ही बोलते हो कि चाय छोड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, कॉफी छोड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है क्योंकि वो इंटॉक्सिकेशन नहीं है, तो 2 महीना बंद करके दिखा दो हमें. So this is, and here we see Prabhupada's disciples, and everything they are giving up. So when a person is hearing from someone, information is there, but the focus should be on transformation. मैनी टाइम्स हम जब भक्ति वृक्षा में नए लोग आते हैं, हम जब बुलाते हैं कि यहाँ पे इस्कॉन मंदिर है, आओ यार भक्ति वृक्षा में आओ, बोलते हैं हम तो उस मंदिर में जाते हैं. बहुत अच्छा, उधर जाने का कोई मना नहीं कर रहा, आप जाओ, एवरीडे जाओ, लेकिन इधर भी आओ. वहां पे 10 साल से जा रहे हो, अपने आप को मिरर में देखो कि प्रोग्रेस क्या हुआ है. 10 साल पहले कहाँ पे थे और अभी कहाँ पे हो. And we see in our programs, at least in my Bhakti Vriksha or all the ISKCON programs, we see, दुनिया में पूरा, ऐसे क्या बोलते हैं, whirlpool. There is a tremendous effect in the all around the world, in the thousands and thousands of devotees. Even in China, China, atheistic country, the government declares, and you see there are 80,000 people chanting in China. Recently government of China, who is an atheist country, government have sponsored printing and publishing of Srimad Bhagavatam in China in Chinese language. देखो द इफेक्ट ऑफ श्रीमद् भागवत. गवर्नमेंट हैज स्पॉन्सर्ड, गवर्नमेंट पे करता है, एंड गवर्नमेंट इज पब्लिशिंग in Chinese language Srimad Bhagavatam. They have framed ISKCON devotees, very clever. They have framed this as cultural representation, and they are distributing thousands and thousands. Russia में, more than 1 million people, millions of people now are chanting. There are more than 50 crores Bhagavad Gita are spoken. You see, it's spreading like wildfire. Why? Because the speaker is genuine and the transformation is happening. It's not only about the information. With the interest of time, let's go text number 6, Sushila Mataji. And actually, Sushila Mataji, you did 6 Sanskrit and translation, 7 Nervin Prabhu or Mataji. You can also do English and translation, and we can discuss it together.
Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.6. भूय एव विवेत्सामि भगवानात्ममायया यथेदं सृजते विश्वं दुर्विभावम् अधीश्वरे. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I beg to know from you how the personality of Godhead by his personal energies created this phenomenal universe as they are. which are inconceivable even to the great demigods. Hare Krishna.
So here we see Parikshit Maharaj is asking question to Sukdev Goswami. I beg to know from you. अभी तक श्रवणम कीर्तनम के बारे में बताया गया था. One has to know hearing. So he is asking. I want to know from how the personality of God had created this phenomenal universe. की creation कैसे हुआ? Let's do the next verse.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय यथा गोपायति विभुर यथा संयच्छते पुनः यां यां शक्तिम् उपाश्रित्य पुरुषक्तिः परः पुमान् आत्मानं क्रीडयन् क्रीडन् करोति विकरोति च.
Translation by His Divine A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Kindly describe how the Supreme Lord, who is all-powerful, engages his different energies and different expansions in maintaining and again winding up the phenomenal world in the sporting spirit of a player. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So here it is said how this Lord maintains and destroys. Previous verse, text number in how does Lord create this universe? How does this material creation happen? And in this one, text number 7 is how does Lord maintains this whole creation and how does he destroys this universe as well. Very important, Prabhupada highlights in this purports that one should not jump to the pastimes of the Lord. देखो अभी बताया गया है कि श्रवणम एंड कीर्तनम करो. वन शुड हियर अबाउट द लॉर्ड. दैट डजंट मीन वन शुड जंप डायरेक्टली टू द पास्ट टाइम्स ऑफ द लॉर्ड, जहां पे रास लीला के बारे में बताया गया है. गोवर्धन लिफ्टिंग ऑफ गोवर्धन हिल पास्ट टाइम इज मेंशन. नॉट जंपिंग डायरेक्टली टू द पास्ट टाइम्स ऑफ द लॉर्ड, बट स्पेसिफिकली हियर it is mentioned, it is very important to know about the position of the Lord. Even in 1.1.1, Canto 1, Text 1, it is described, how the qualities of Lord Shri Krishna, Janmadi Yasya, how he is the creator of everything. Specifically it is mentioned. One should read Srimad Bhagavatam cover to cover, systematically. ऐसा नहीं जो अच्छा लगता है वो पढ़ लिया, जहाँ पे मुझे तो पास्ट टाइम से अच्छे लगते हैं, मुझे तो कथा सुनने का अच्छा लगता है. No, we need to understand the position of the Lord. And the second theme, what is important thing Prabhupada mentions in this is the common man also knows that the creation is made by some creator and not created automatically. मतलब कि जो भी एक creator, a creation implies a creator. अगर कुछ चीज created है उसका मतलब है कि कोई creator है, किसी ने तो बनाया है. A common man also knows this is there. In Prabhupada writes in the purport, we have no experience in the practical world that a thing is created automatically. ऐसा कोई भी चीज है जो ये दुनिया में अपने आप बन के आ गया हो. There is a creator. I am sitting on this chair. Is there anything in this room or this chair or the table has come automatically? There is no creator. So Prabhupada is highlighting that even a common man knows, creation implies a creator. In the same way, this whole universe is there. There is a creator behind it. And the Parikshit Maharaj wants to know or describe Lord's pastime about this, how he created this, how he maintains this, how he destroys this. Let's do text number 8 because it's continuing the same theme of the Lord's external energy.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat pranam to all. If Rohit Prabhu wants to read the translation. Nunam bhagavato brahman harer adbhuta karmanah durvibhavyam iva bhati kavibhishchapi cheshtitam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you, Mataji. O learned Brahmana, the transcendental activities of the Lord are all wonderful, and they appear inconceivable because even great endeavors by many learned scholars have still proved insufficient for understanding them. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. The transcendental activities of Lord are all wonderful and they are inconceivable. Learned scholars have still proved insufficient understanding. It is not possible for the learned scholars to completely understand all these activities of the Lord. They cannot, because the brain power is limited and Lord is unlimited. If you read the purport, Srila Prabhupada quotes many Russian scientists, chemistry, doctors, professors, all full scientifically. Prabhupada mentions that how they say that there must be some creator of this whole system. And Prabhupada writes in the purport that all these professors or scientists or researchers of this world, they have limited brain power. Unka brain power limited hai. They can't even understand like the lifetime of Brahma, where there are trillions of years. Like how there are 1,000 yuga cycles is one day of Brahma. Itna lamba koi ji sakta hai. And Prabhupada is explaining, how the brain power is limited and they can't even understand the lifetime of Brahma. Imagine the Brahma's brain power. And by that brain power of Brahma, he is saying, Aishwara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Radhi Radhira Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. This is the Lord Sri Krishna Sarva Karana Karanam, who is the ultimate creator. Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, they are all mentioning this. They are all confirming this, that Lord is the supreme creator. What does scientists do with their limited brain power here? They say this creation has happened by a big bang. Ekdam se bang hua. There sometime somewhere there was a bang, and then the whole beautiful creation came into the existence. Imagine you are walking on the road and you find an iPhone. And then, oh wow, there must have been a bang here somewhere, and a beautiful iPhone has created. iPhone 17 Pro Max. होता है क्या? कोई bang होता है और iPhone बन के आता है, where there is a perfect system, there is a network, internet है, apps है, सब कुछ, programming, decoding, everything is there. As possible by a bang. How a phone, अरे phone छोड़ो, even a tennis ball, table tennis का ball, छोटा वाला, even a table tennis ball you find and you can think that अरे एक big bang हुआ था और उससे ये table tennis ball आ गया. There must be a creator of that table tennis. कोई फैक्ट्री में बना होगा. किसी बच्चे को भी पूछ लो, ये अपने आप यहाँ पे गोल्फ बॉल या टेनिस बॉल आ गया, या फिर किसी फैक्ट्री में बना होगा, किसी ने बनाया होगा, किसी ने डिजाइन किया होगा और तब जाके ये बॉल इधर पे आया है. Even a small tennis ball doesn't come by itself. These scientists, they prove or they try to theorize that there is a big bang और ये पूरा इतना बड़ा planet Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Sun, Moon अपने आप आते हैं. So what Prabhupada is writing in the purports here is creation implies a creator. Look around, जो भी creation है, there is a creator. It could be a little pen. अगर creation है तो there is a creator. In the same way, whole this material creation there, it implies there is a creator. Second thing, law. Law implies a lawmaker. There is a law कि अगर train में बैठो तो you need to have a train ticket. अगर आप गाड़ी लेके, especially in Australia, if you are going, you have to keep your car in the left side. On this road, you have to drive 80 km per hour or 100 km per hour. If there is a law, अपने आप आ गया क्या किसी ने law बनाया होगा? There must be a lawmaker who made a law. That's why the laws are there. So many laws in nature. Gravitational force. अभी इधर से एक एप्पल लिया, कभी ऊपर जाता है, कभी लेफ्ट साइड जाता है, कभी राइट साइड जाता है, कभी नीचे गिरता है. Is it all by random or there is a specific law? There are science में देखो, physics. If you understand, there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of laws are there. Law implies a lawmaker. Creation implies a creator. In the same way, if you observe this universe, so many things going in perfect order. Planets are moving in their own orbits. Moon has its own orbit. Sunrise and sunset, they are happening at a very specific, precise time with the seconds in calculation. And scientists are predicting, the grahan jo hota hai, the eclipse. They predict, ask 1,000 years later, this sun and earth will come in the same line and this kind of eclipse will happen. Very precisely, everything is happening. If you observe this interdependence in this nature, humans breathe oxygen, the plants releases oxygen, they take carbon dioxide, the bees pollinate flowers, how rivers or the rain, they provide water everywhere. The seasonal changes are happening, the hot and cold weather, everything. Very precise interdependence, systematic nature is everything. All this has come by random. ऐसे बिग बैंग हो गया और सब कुछ एकदम से हो गया. it is a perfectly managed system. अभी इतना bombing हो रहा है, have you ever seen that a bomb किसी ने डाल दिया, बिग बैंग हो गया, ब्लास्ट हो गया, और परफेक्टली वेल मैनेज्ड सिस्टम्स वेयर एवरीथिंग इज लॉ ऑर्डर मेंटेन्ड एंड परफेक्टली, ऐसा होता है? कभी होता है बिग बैंग से क्या? So automatically this world hasn't come, and that's why the whole these things, if you read the purpose, this theme of this is about, there is a creation, but that implies there is a creator. There are laws, that implies a lawmaker. There is orders are maintained, everything is in perfect order, that means there is some order maintainer. So this is the theme of this purpose, and that's why instead of jumping to the past times कि अभी चलो 7 दिन बाकी है, ज्यादा टाइम नहीं है, मुझे भगवान की लीला के बारे में सुना हो, no, it is external energy and internal energy of the Lord. The past times in specific in relation to the external energy, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Karanodakshaya Vishnu, and Sirodakshaya Vishnu, who looks after this task of creating this whole material world, this creation. It's very important to understand. कई बार लोग, actually let's read 9 and 10 together and then we'll discuss. Krishna Prabhu, आपको करना है 9 and 10.
Hare Krishna. Sonal Mataji, you can read the translation if you're ready. Text number 9. Yatha gunamstu prakritir yugapat kramasho piva bibharti purushas tveka kurvan karmani janmabhi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Translation. The supreme personality of the supreme personality of Godhead is one, whether he
Mataji, you have to
alone
mute.
in the-
You have to mute the other device, Mataji. There is a lot of echo. We cannot hear. Or to move that other device away for a while.
Okay, the supreme personality.
You have logged on in 2 devices, Mataji. You have logged in on with 2 devices, so probably you need to cancel one device.
The supreme personality of Godhead is one, whether he acts alone in the modes of material nature or simultaneously expands in many forms or expands consecutively to direct the modes of nature.
Thank you, Mataji. I think there's still an echo, so is it okay if I read? Just in the interest of time. Text number 10. Vichikitsam etan me pravitu bhagavan yatha shabde brahmani nishnatha parasmimscha bhavan kalu. Translation. Kindly clear up all these doubtful inquiries, because you're not only vastly learned in the Vedic literatures and self-realized in transcendence, but are also a great devotee of the Lord and are therefore as good as the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So here Parikshit Maharaj is requesting to learn more about this creation aspect of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why it is important for us as a devotee, why can't we directly jump to the pastimes of the Lord, and why it is important to understand that Lord's creation aspect, how Lord is the Supreme Created, how Lord creates this universe. So that the reason is mentioned here, so that we develop awe and reverence. Many times people write, God is great, Bhagwan बहुत महान है. But do we really know how great is God? भगवान कितने महान है? When we understand about this creation, how Lord is creating this whole universe, we develop awe and reverence for the personality of Godhead. Otherwise, if we don't know the position of the Lord, we can misunderstand or misinterpret the pastimes of the Lord. And the questions, we may get confused as well. जब हम सुनते हैं कि भगवान ने गोवर्धन पर्वत उठाया, अपने लिटिल फिंगर पे he lifted Govardhan hill, then if we don't know the Lord is the creator of this whole material world, whole creation, he is the creator of gravitational law as well. Then we can understand क्यों नहीं उठा सकते भगवान गोवर्धन पर्वत अपने little finger पे. So that's why it's very important to develop that awe and reverence for the Lord and to understand this creation. The second reason is mentioned. The purpose we understand this creation is to know the reason why this was created. ये material creation, ये material world, ये भौतिक जगत क्यों बनाया गया है, उसका purpose क्या है, why living entities are here, what kind of arrangement of the Lord is that the living entities are here to rectify, to develop the love for the Godhead and to go back to that supreme personality of Godhead. So that is all mentioned here. Many times people argue कि अगर सब कुछ बनी है, everything has a creator, चलो आपकी बात मान भी लेते हैं कि ये चेयर है, ये टेबल है, सब कुछ किसी ने बनाया है और हम creation implies a creator, तो क्या भगवान को भी किसने बनाया? अगर सब कुछ किसी ने बनाया है तो भगवान को किसने बनाया? बताओ. Who can answer? If someone asks, Bhakti Vriksha member, first class time coming to the session, and you are talking about creation, सब कुछ भगवान ने बनाया है. Excuse me, sir, आप बता रहे हो सब कुछ किसी ने, कोई तो बनाने वाला होगा, कुछ भी चीज अपने आप नहीं आ सकती, तो भगवान को किसने बताया? आपकी ही, your arrow on your own side. How did you answer?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. You once said that time is something which also God made and it is applicable to us, not to him. So बनाया था, बनाया, ये सब चीजें हम पे applicable होती है, not to the Lord.
Okay, that is one point of understanding that time is applicable to us, not to the Lord.
अभी बना होगा, कैसे
But
बना
God
होगा?
आए कहाँ से?
Prabhu, definition of Bhagwan, if there is a definition, if something can be called or someone can be called God, then the definition itself implies कि जिससे सब कुछ आता है लेकिन जो कहीं से नहीं आते. He is the origin of. If there is something called, we can't call something भगवान अगर वो भी किधर से आ रहा है, तो फिर जिधर से आ रहा है उसको भगवान बोलेंगे ना, the final stop.
Very good. Joe, with the interest of time, अभी फटाफट finish करते हैं. With the understanding of this, कि जो he is the source of everything and there is no source of that personality, that is called भगवान. उनका definition है कि जिन्होंने सब कुछ बनाया है और जिनको बनाने वाला कोई नहीं है, वही भगवान है. For example, if someone says, can you draw a circle which has 4 sides, 90-degree angles? Can you draw a circle which has 4 sides? You can't change the definition of a circle. Circle means it doesn't have any side. If you make 4 90-degree angles and if you have 4 sides, that is called a rectangle. You can't change the definition of something. Otherwise that circle doesn't remain circle, it becomes a rectangle. In the same way, the definition of God is the one who is source of everything, the one who is creator of everything, and there is no creator of him. That is called Lord. So abhi, if someone is asking, सब कुछ भगवान ने बनाया, लेकिन भगवान को किसने बनाया? रे भगवान तो उसी को बोलता है. Exactly as Nirvin Prabhu mentioned, भगवान उन्हीं को हम बोलते हैं. The definition is that he has no creator and he is the creator of everything. ठीक है, we will stop at text number 10. With the interest
We'll
of...
just to further ask, and then they can ask, okay, so who gave the definition? You gave the definition. So, like the PK movie, there are 2 types of gods, the one who we make and the other one the God makes. So how do we answer that one?
Yeah, that's when you tell everyone to come to Bhakti Vriksha. If a child shows, ये sun, moon, planet, sunrise कैसे होता है, trigonometry, algebra कैसे होता है, अरे भाई prep में grade 1 में admission तो लो पहले. You want to know everything in one day. धीरे धीरे आगे जाएंगे, बढ़ेंगे, then we know. So you tell them to come to temple, have gulab jamun, eat pakoda, and then you will get all the answers slowly. Because it's not the knowledge. See, again, we have to come to the point. It's not the information. If you give the information, they will ask another question. If you give the next answer, they will get. There is no end to the questions. But when a person, comes to the temple, hears from the devotee, read Srila Prabhupada books, have prasadam, do devotional service, the first verse I mentioned while beginning, Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayoje, Janayati Ashu Vairagnam, Jnanam Chayadayetukam. So the knowledge will come when someone engages in devotional service, not by. Again, we have to also see the mood. Are they asking in the proper submissive inquiry mood, or they are asking in the arguments mood? And then slowly, there are many examples. People come with questions. When they engage in service, all questions are answered. In that way, we engage them to the devotee association. We engage them to the Bhakti Vriksha centers all around, wherever it's happening. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Answering Shiva Prabhu's question, definition is given by Parasar Muni of Bhagwan in the Purana series. I don't remember the exact name, but Parasar Muni has given the definition of
Vishnu
Bhagavan.
Puran mein na Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna devotees.